Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Walter's Wives and Woes. We want to provide a quick update prior to releasing these next two episodes. This will all drop at the same time, but since we aired the first episode that discussed Shelby's story with domestic violence, a lot has happened. It's like in this, if you listen to the first episode and if you haven't, please pause, go listen to the episode that says, I'm going to marry him. We did not name drop for the sake of this is not about her abuser. This is about Shelby using her voice and sharing her story to hopefully help just one person who might be in a similar situation. That is why we did not name drop. We have every right to name drop, but it's not about them. But with that being said, we received an anonymous comment on our Spotify, and to someone on the outside, they might have just thought this person was trying to give us advice or might have some quote unquote worry. But we know who it was. It was a blatant threat of trying to sue Shelby for defamation, specifically slander, which if you don't know, slander is whenever you spewed out lies. None of this is lies. There's court documents that prove it. And then they mentioned, oh gosh, what else? Oh, the insurance fraud.
And can I just say about the insurance fraud? It was my ex's idea. He told me to file with my insurance because he wasn't going to pay the money to cover it.
Yes, and we also need to do an edit because after we were talking about things, like there were so many things that happened that you just mix up stories. It wasn't his foot that kicked in the door. He used his truck door and repeatedly slammed it into Shelby's passenger side of her car.
Yep.
So it wasn't his foot. We do just want to clarify that. We don't want to be, we don't want to be called liars. It was not his foot. It was his truck door. So technically it was, I would say a collision at that point. But anyway, there is a statute of limitations for insurance fraud. And I'm sorry. This just goes to show Shelby made up this lie to protect a person who she was involved with, because he could have gotten in a lot of trouble. He could have been sued for property damage. Like, that's why she did that. And probably out of fear as well, because if you would have turned him in, God knows what would have happened. But besides the point, so those were the two threats, that they were going to turn her in for insurance fraud and sue for slander. Shelby shared it on Facebook. And again, we're not name dropping. So much support. Like, this is the only negative comment that we have gotten since the episode aired. We have received so much support and encouragement, and people just thanking Shelby for using her voice and sharing her story. Well, a couple days later, I was on my email, and there were two comments from two separate YouTube accounts that were claiming that they knew Shelby and knew her ex and some of his family, and that there's two sides to every story, which there is.
Absolutely.
And we will acknowledge Shelby was far from perfect in this relationship.
Well, and in this next episode,
we talk about it.
We talk about that.
And I do want to say our next two episodes were recorded prior to all of these comments happening. Because, yeah, we were going on vacation. We planned on dropping it. And then all this crap happened. But we were like, who could these two people be if they're claiming to know Shelby and this other person? Who could it be?
Well, and both accounts were created like...
One was like 24 hours ago and the other one was like 3 hours ago. So they were brand new accounts. And that's because in order to leave comments, you have to have YouTube accounts. So,
or Gmail accounts, essentially, right?
no, you have to have a YouTube
Oh, okay.
just
Okay.
to even like videos or
But
anything.
you automatically have a YouTube account if you have Gmail.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
You found that out?
Yes.
Okay. So, are we okay sharing like the username names?
I don't think we
Oh,
should.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the one, first of all, these comments were extremely similar.
Mm-hmm.
Like saying the same thing.
Yep.
And it was just like really weird. And we're like, ignore Shelby's dogs in the background. We're just like, who is this person? Well, we're like, Lord knows. Then this other person, I was
well, I knew right away when I read
well,
them.
we knew who these two comments were from. But at this, like in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, does this person actually have friends who are like sticking up for them? Or, you know, is it what we now know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the one account, Shelby was like, because we were like, who is this? If you're claiming to know Shelby, what's your last name? And this person's coming back. It's funny how you want me to drop your last name, but you don't have the balls to name drop your abuser, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Which said person name dropped.
Yes. This person.
Said abuser and a family member.
Yeah. And it's like, why would you do that? Because now people who are not close to this situation, they know who it was. Because I'm sorry, I just want to thank our hater because our views, I checked a few days ago, the YouTube alone was over 800 views. Like, that's literally insane. I'm going to say you're welcome for deleting your own comments. But in the end, that was a scheme, and you will find out why. There was a reason the names were left that were put in the comments. But anyway, this one person that supposedly commented, Shelby's like, okay, I think it might be this person, and I'm still friends with her on Facebook. So Shelby messaged this girl, and she's like, yeah, I don't use YouTube. That's not me. And, you know, I'm sorry that they're making these comments. And so, like, then that girl reports this profile, like, claiming it's supposed to be hers, because the person that left the comment was like, I actually met you many years ago at said location. And Shelby's like, this is the only girl it could be.
And the fact that this person knows that, you're creepy, get a life.
Yes. Well, I also want to add, like, this person that left these comments, how did you even know about our podcast unless you're stalking our Facebooks?
Yeah, we have nothing better to do with our lives, but clearly you don't either.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Just throwing that out there.
And so we're commenting back. I'm freaking ticked at this point. Like, I could have said so much. And I flat out called out who the person was that was leaving the comments. We all know it was you. You can continue to deny it, but it was who it was. And even after we said, we messaged the actual person you're pretending to be, and they said it wasn't that. They're like, oh, you must only know one person by that name then. In your world, there must only be one person with that name. It's like, you are so crazy that you are continuing to try to keep this lie going.
Yeah, well, and said person, as she continued to like spew her hate and nastiness, forgot she was impersonating the other person and started to sound like her, like true self. And I was like, yep, that's definitely her.
Yes. So we ended up like screenshotting all of these comments, because within the comments, and she moved from wanting to sue us for slander and trying to get Shelby for insurance fraud to contacting our workplaces for these things that we are discussing. They're not appropriate for our workplaces. And we're just like, she really thinks where we work can, you know, basically censor us and censor what Shelby talks about her personal life.
And BT Dub, they can't.
No, they can't.
I have full support from both of my bosses, by the way, to share my story. So when you're listening to this, don't waste your time harassing them.
Yeah. We know this person's going to be listening. I'm sure this person has been checking YouTube and Spotify constantly.
Mm-hmm.
But this person did ultimately contact Shelby's workplace and
Anonymously, but left her phone number.
yes.
Also confirming those were definitely her YouTube accounts that she created.
Even though she still continued to lie about it.
Yes.
So fast forward, Shelby's boss and her boss's boss showed Shelby's support. You know, they're backing her up. Shelby can say what she wants to say. So then we decided we had talked, and I had already encouraged Shelby that the police need to be involved.
Mm-hmm.
Because while this person was also saying, well, I'm going to contact my lawyer. And it's like,
Go
for it. Waste your money.
Yep.
And so Shelby did contact the police. And as of now, there is a no contact order in place.
They do encourage me, though, to get a protection order.
Yes.
But I do not want to go to those links, but I will if I have to.
Yes, literally.
And that will involve court.
It was to the point where this person is harassing Shelby, and she does have the rights to file a protection order, and it would be granted, but it would be multiple court dates. And it's like, just drop it. Shelby is allowed to share her story.
And I've sought legal counsel, and the lawyer that I spoke with says I could name drop if I wanted to. And my abuser would, or I don't even want to call him my abuser, like that just gives him too much power. My ex could not do anything about it. Like, because there's court documents to support he has a violent history.
Yes. And you know it's bad when the cops get involved, you say who the person is, and they're like, oh yeah, we know about them.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, just keep that in mind. But yes, there is a no contact order in place. This person is not allowed to contact Shelby, me, any of our family members. And if they do, then Shelby will move forward with the protective order. So we just wanted to share all that with everyone, because this is even the worst of what happens to women who try to leave or speak up.
Yep.
Shelby, hopefully the dogs are not being super loud in the microphone. But yes, that's why we're sharing this. Like, all this happened years and years and years ago, and yet this person is still making threats, and we don't know who all is involved in this scheme. We don't know if it's him, if it's his loved one on their own. We don't know. But like I said, Shelby has every right to share what happened to her. I'm sorry this guy is such a bad person. If you didn't want people to know he was a bad person, then tell him not to be a bad person, not to do bad things, not to repeatedly do bad things and expect people to think that he has, and this just proved nothing's changed in 10 years. Or it hasn't been 10 years. I mean,
not at all.
This story started 10 years ago, but it's been, this year will be, 7 years?
Since I left, yeah.
Yeah, 7 years. In 7 years, you just know nothing's changed. And then I want to say there was a comment made on YouTube. I got a notification on my email about it from one of his family members. And it just confirmed that he is who he has always been. And it really makes me not feel bad at all for sharing any of this. Not that we should feel bad to begin with, but I don't feel bad at all.
But the intent was not to bring negative attention to him.
No, it wasn't. That's never what it was. But this person has made it.
Yeah. The poser girl has brought lots of attention. Thank you.
Yeah.
So keep doing you, boo. You just keep on doing that, and you'll just make our views go up even more and more.
Yeah, I know.
So kudos.
I don't want to, toot our own horns. This is our best video yet.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
That's it. If you follow us on Instagram, if you saw my Cardi B, I just want to thank my haters. To Anonymous, to Shelby won't let me say their names, fake accounts. But no.
Yes, I am choosing to protect you because you could also be exposed. So just keep that in mind.
Yes. Yes. But with all that being said, we're going to share the next 2 parts, and maybe we'll come back with another update. Maybe the crazy is going to get crazier. But I also want to forewarn, if this person tries to do anything beyond what they have already done, the law will continue to be involved. You will not get away with this. You have no ground to stand on. So,
and just because your delusions are your reality, it doesn't mean they're truth.
Yes. And also, I'm also sorry for this person.
I know. So am
because I'm sure it is humiliating.
Yeah.
But this is the truth. And I just wish this person never would have put their names in the comments. Because there are so many people who have no idea who this was.
No, I've had several people ask me, who are you talking about? And I'm like, I'm not name dropping.
Yeah,
if you don't know my story, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who my ex was. That's not the point of this.
Yeah, like we said, it's not the point. The point is Shelby sharing her story and helping maybe one person. Because there are so many people, men and women, who are in similar situations. And it might not even be physical, but overall it is toxic. There's mental abuse, there's financial abuse, emotional, and it's not healthy. And you don't usually see the signs until 1, you've been in it far too long, or 2, you just love that person so much and you can't see past their wrongdoings. That is why we are sharing this. It has nothing to do with this harasser and Shelby's ex. Stop making it about yourself.
And don't listen.
Yes, if it hurts so bad,
don't listen to the next part.
Part.
Save yourself and just don't listen. Because everything I share, especially in this next episode,
and the third,
the law is involved. There are court documents to support what I'm saying. If you don't want to hear it, then just don't listen. It's as simple as that.
Yes. So, I think we're ready to share the next 2 episodes.